Students, am I audible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir,
And
you're audible.
are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir, we are able.
Okay, fine. So in last theory class, we are discussing about lean Bears method. So theory part was discussed. So today I will be solving one problem using lean Bears method. So basically, what is that method? How to extract quadratic factor from a given polynomial equation. Not polynomial equation, from a polynomial. So if that is an equation, so equating quadratic factor to 0, you will be able to find out the roots, two roots. So let us understand the method with one example. थोड़े मुश्किल होंगे ऑनलाइन मोड और ऑफलाइन मोड एक साथ करने में. Okay, so the example is this one. Do you see? हाँ. अब जब क्लास कर रहे हैं ना, आप लोग क्लास नोट बनाइए जो ऑफलाइन में करेंगे. ऑनलाइन में क्या करते थे पता नहीं चलता था, आप लोग एक्चुअली क्लास अटेंड कर रहे हैं या दूसरी काम कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि रिस्पॉन्स तो 4-5 स्टूडेंट से आते थे. ओके, सो द polynomial, cubic polynomial is x cube minus 2x square plus x minus 2. So this is the polynomial. So the third degree polynomial we have taken. Now the question is extract the quadratic factor from this polynomial. Polynomial. Okay. So what was the method? How this method works? So you consider this is the given polynomial x cube minus 2x square plus x minus 2. So we assume that the quadratic factor you is x square plus small r into x plus small s. ये इनसे आप डिवाइड पॉलिनोमियल को डिवाइड करेंगे तो क्वेश्चन में क्या आएगा, कितने डिग्री का पॉलिनोमियल आएगा? 1 डिग्री का. सो सपोज दैट इज 1 degree, it will be 1 degree polynomial. So b0 plus b1x, and since it is not an actual factor, you do not know, you have taken some approximate factor x square plus small r times x plus s, so you will get some remainder. So what will be the degree of the remainder? 1. So it is suppose cx plus d. Now you do the calculation from both sides and tell me what is c and d in terms of r and s. Okay, so you know the drill. So you do the multiplication and tell me what is c and d in terms of r and s. If you wish, you can take the help of this calculation. This was done for cubic polynomial, so exactly these values will be there. C will be a1 minus s a3. So let me write down. So C will be, so you can take the help of this calculation or you can do it freshly. So what is that? Here, okay. So C will be a1 minus r times a2 minus ra3. Actually, if you take the consider the polynomial as this way, a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube in this way. Then C will be a1 minus r into a2 minus ra3 minus s times a3, and d will be a0 minus s into a2 minus r a3. So substitute the values and tell me what is c and d in terms of r and s. What is c, what is d? हाँ, C equals to 1 plus 2R plus R square minus S. Okay, what is D? Minus 2 plus 2S plus RS. So these are the values of R and S, the C and D. So basically, how this approximate factor? So this was approximate factor x square. This was approximate factor. So if you take x square plus R times x plus S as approximate factor, you will have to take some initial guesses to R and S, is not it? So how R is taken? There is no rule in this taking. R is A naught by A1. Normally it is taken A naught by A1 and S as taken as A naught by A2. So what is R here in this problem? A naught by A1. So 1 by minus 2. So minus 0.5. Okay. A naught by A1 na? A naught is minus 2. Let me see A naught. How this is taken? Actually, I'll be dividing the whole equation by A3. How? Anyway, what we do? We divide by the coefficient of x square. X by x square. No, anyway, let me see. Actually, there is no logic behind this. If I take something else, it does not matter. Actually, I want to take the values from the copy so that I can cross check the calculation. So, values of R is taken as A naught by A1 by A2. R is okay. R is a x square plus R. Okay. A1 by A2. R is the coefficient of x, na? So it is A1 by A1 by A2. A1 by A2 and S is A naught by A2. So A1 is 1, A naught A2 is minus 2. So 1 by minus 2, so 0 minus 0.5. S is A naught by A2. A naught is minus 2 and A2 is minus 2. So minus 2 by minus 2. That is 1. So the approximate factor which we have taken is x square minus 0.5 into x plus 1. So this is the approximate factor we have taken. Now, while we do the calculation, we have taken the approximate factor as x square plus R times x plus s, and doing so we have obtained c equals to this, d equals to this. So when this x square plus rx plus s will be exact factor. So if you can solve c equals to 0, so if you solve c equals to 0, d equals to 0 simultaneously, whatever value of r and s you will get, that value of r and s in x square plus rx plus s will give you the exact factor. But c equals to 0 and d equals to 0, this is system of linear equation or non-linear equation? Non-linear equation, and non-linear equation solving is not an easy job. If you solve, tell me the values. If you directly can solve r and s from these two equations, it will be better. You will directly get the exact factor. No need to do the iterative procedure which I am going to write. Or how are you saying this? Maybe this for this particular. No, that is not the task I am giving you. You will have to use this method. This particular problem is very easy. That is why you are saying that the factor is x square plus 1. Okay, if I give you higher order polynomial, then how you will do it? So I am asking you the general procedure. So basically you will be solving R and S from C equals to 0 and D equals to 0. So in general, solving system of nonlinear equation is very difficult. So that is why you will have to adopt some iterative procedure, how to solve how to solve R and S from C and D equals to 0. Okay. So that is why we started with some initial guesses of R and S. R was minus 0.5 and S is 1. So next, so since R and S is not the exact values in the factor x square plus Rx plus S, so let R, so x square plus R and some correction delta R. So x square plus R plus delta R time x plus S plus delta S is the next approximate factor. आपने क्या किया? R की वैल्यू मॉडिफाई की है. कैसे? R के साथ डेल्टा R ऐड करने के बाद. Sorry. So you do not know the sign of delta R and exact value of delta R. Some value you will be getting by doing some calculation, and also you will get some values of delta S. So how to get these improvements, delta R and delta S? So for that you will have to solve C equals to 0 and D equals to 0 numerically. So solving system of nonlinear equation, or one of the method is Newton-Raphson method. You have heard it. You have used it to solve single equation. So that can also be used to solve multiple equation simultaneously, nonlinear equation. So that method is so since R plus delta R and S plus delta S, so here what is C is function of R and S. So what you have to do? You have to consider C of, so C of R comma S is not equals to 0, because suppose x square plus capital R time x plus capital S, this is the exact factor. Come in. Then what will happen? C of R comma S will be 0 and D of R comma S will be 0. If x square plus capital Rx plus capital S is exact factor, then remainder in that case will be 0. C of R comma S and D of R comma S. So assume this R equals to the chosen value plus the improvement, and S is chosen S plus the improvement. So you substitute those two values here, you are getting C of R plus delta R, S plus delta S equals to 0. So this is the way you will be solving any system of nonlinear equation. And another equation you will be getting from here, D of R plus delta R, S plus delta S equals to 0. Now, so from here you will be writing Taylor series expansion. Since two variables are constant, so we'll be using Taylor series expansion of two variables. If more equations were there, more variables were involved, then you will be using appropriate Taylor series expansion. So since two variables are involved, we'll be using Taylor series expansion with two variables. And so tell me, what is the Taylor series expansion? What is f of x plus h, y plus k? This Taylor series. F of x comma y plus h times del x plus k times del y into f of x comma y. Next term in the Taylor series is h times del x plus k times del y whole square by factorial to f of x comma y and so on. If you do not remember, I am not going to prove it. You go through yourself. So this is the Taylor series expansion in two variables. Okay, so use Taylor series expansion in two variable and tell me what are the equations from star you will be getting. Tell me. C r comma s plus del c by del r into delta r plus del c by del s into delta s plus remaining term, they will be non-linear term. All of them will be higher order of delta r and delta s. So if delta r and delta s is small, we'll be neglecting them, because anyway our aim is to solve delta r and delta s. So if we keep the higher order terms, again we'll be getting very complicated equation in delta r and delta s, and we will not be able to solve. So what we are going to do to get the next approximate factor, we'll be neglecting the higher power of delta r and delta s, so that we get a system of linear equation from non-linear. Okay, so this is equals to 0, neglecting the higher order terms, and another equation you will be getting d of r comma s plus del d by del r delta r plus del d by del s delta s, and the higher order terms equals to 0. So if we neglect the higher order terms, you will be getting higher power of delta r and delta s. You will be getting two equations as del c by del r into delta r plus del c by del s into delta s equals to minus cr comma s, and another equation will be del d by del r into delta r plus del d by del s into delta s equals to minus dr comma s. So these are the equations you are getting, and you have to evaluate these two equations at initial approximation of r and s, so that the unknowns will be only delta r and delta s. Everything else will be known to you. So it will be a system of equations, two equations, two unknowns, and you will be able to solve it. So let us now, so that was the theory I had already discussed in the last theory class. So what is our problem here? The polynomial is x cube minus 2 times x square plus x minus 2. That was the polynomial. You have to extract a quadratic factor from this polynomial. And what was the initial factor we chose? So approximate factor we had chosen x square minus 0.5 into x plus 1. So in each step we have to modify this. In each step our aim will be to improve it, and we'll be keep on improving until we see any significant changes in two consecutive iterations. So let us do this. So what was C? Because we have to solve these two system of equation, so we'll have to find out what is del C by del R, del C by del S, del D by del R, del D by del S. So what was C? Let me write down one more time. C was 1 plus 2r minus r square, 1 plus 2r minus r square plus r square minus s. And what was D? Minus 2 plus 2s plus rs. So you calculate what is del C by del R and del D by del R, del C by del S, del D by del S, because those are involved in the system of equation. So del C by del R is 2 plus 2r. Del C by del S minus 1. Del D by del R S, and del D by del S 2 plus R. Okay. So from double star you are getting the equations are So iteration 1. So from double star, what you are getting? Delta R into del C by del R. Delta R into del C by del R. So what is del C by del R? 2 plus 2R. And you have to evaluate it at the initial guess. Minus 0.5, 1. R equals to minus 0.5 and S equals to 1. Plus delta S into del C by del S. So minus 1. You do not have to evaluate it because it is already constant. Equals to minus CRS. So minus CRS is 1 plus 2R plus R square minus S. Minus sign is there at the point minus 0.5 comma 1. And another equation will be getting delta R into del D by del R. So del D by del R is S, and you have to evaluate it at minus 0.5 comma 1 plus delta S into del D by del S. That is 2 plus R. You have to evaluate it at minus 0.5 comma 1 equals to DRS, minus DRS. So minus 2 plus 2S plus RS at the point minus 0.5 comma 1. So tell me the two equations you are getting. This will give you delta R into how much? 2 plus 2R. So 2 minus 1. 1. So 1 into delta R. Was it that? Yes. And how much you are getting? Minus delta S. So delta R minus delta S equals to minus CRS. How much on the right hand side? 0.75. The sign plus 1 minus sign is there. You see, this is the minus sign. प्लस कैसे आएगा? लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से राइट हैंड साइड पे लेके गए थे ना. Okay. So it is coming plus 7.75. 0.75. Okay. And what is the next equation? Delta RS plus 1.5. 3 by 2, 1.5. Delta S equals to 0.5. Okay. So solve these. These are system of linear equation. Very easy to solve. Delta R how much and delta S how much? Okay. 0.65, 0.65. And delta S minus 0.1. So what will be the next approximate factor? Next approximate factor is, so basically we are doing nothing. We are solving CRS equals to 0, DRS equals to 0 by numerical methods. Solving system of non-linear equation by numerical methods. That is what you are doing. Nothing else. So next approximate factor is x square plus minus 0.5 plus 0.65 x plus 1 plus 0.1, not plus, minus 0.1. So that will be x square plus 0.15 x plus 0.9. So this is the next approximate factor after first iteration. Second, you will have to repeat the procedure in iteration 2. Iteration 2. I will not be doing this time the whole calculation. So this time, what is R? 0.15 and S 0.9. Now again you will be solving these two equations, delta r. So the equations will be, let me write down, 2 plus 2r. So 2 plus 2r, 2 plus 2r evaluated at 0.15 comma 0.9 into delta r plus minus 1. So minus 1 into delta s equals to minus CRS. So minus, what was CRS? 1 plus 2r plus r square, 1 plus 2r plus r square minus s. This has to be evaluated at 0.15 comma 0.9, and another equation will be s. It has to be evaluated at 0.15 comma 0.9 into delta r plus 2 plus r. 2 plus r, it has to be evaluated at 0.15 comma 0.9 into delta s equals to minus drs. Minus drs. What is drs? Minus 2 plus 2s minus 2 plus 2s plus rs. It has to be evaluated at okay. So after doing the calculation, the two equations you will be getting. Let me write down this time for you. 2.30 times delta r minus delta s equals to minus 0.4225, and another equation will be getting 0.9 into delta r plus 2.5 or 2.15 into delta s equals to minus 0.65. So you will be solving these two system of equation to get the value of delta r and delta s. So delta r will be minus 0.1665 and delta s will be 0.0394. So the next approximate factor after second iteration will be x square plus 0.15 minus 0.1665 into x plus 0.9 plus 0.0394. That will be the next approximate factor. So that will give you x square minus 0.01, how much? 65 times x plus 0.9394. And what is the exact factor? You said x square plus 1. So you see only after two iterations they are very close to each other because the coefficient of x is very close to 0. This value is very close to 0. And this value is also very close to 1. Not very close, close to 1. Only after second iteration. So you will have to keep on performing this procedure. So by hand you are doing, that is why it is taking much time. But if you write a code, then you can easily obtain the approximate factor very quickly. So this is how Lean-Beast method helps you to find out the quadratic factor, not the a quadratic factor. One by one you will be finding all the quadratic factors if you want all the roots. So that was root finding method. So this unit is completed here. So any question, anybody? Here in the second equation, let's see. In second equation, the value is it will, you are saying this value will be minus 0.065. Positive value will be there. It should be positive. Okay, so check the calculation. Basically, I have already told you. I did the first iteration, second iteration. I told you how to get it. So these are the two system of equation you'll be getting. So check it. Some mistake may be there. Check it yourself. So once you get two system of equation, linear equation, you will be able to solve it for delta R and delta S. Use them to improve the considered factor after one iteration. Okay. Any other question? Okay. Any questions in from online students?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay then. So let me briefly give you the overview of the next unit. It will not take much. It will take much time if I say in details. So next unit is about interpolation. Let me add a new page. New page. Interpolation. So here we'll be dealing with data points, two-dimensional data points. So data points are given in this manner, either in tabular form. I'll be writing either one of these two way, x, y. Normally, we represent the data point as x, y in two dimension. Okay, but it may not be always the case. It may be in terms of other notation. So suppose n plus 1 data points are given, x naught, y naught, x1, y1, x2, y2, up to xn, yn. How many data points are there? N plus 1 data points are there. N plus 1 data points. So you do not know which relation the data points are following. Instead, you are obtaining the data points from some experiment. For example, you want to calculate exact relationship between the time and temperature today. So if you will take a thermometer and you find the temperature at different interval of the day, different time of the day. For example, at 8 a.m., at 9 a.m., at 10 a.m., and so on. So you are measuring the temperature at 1 hour interval. So they will be creating a data set. Now, if I ask you, okay, what is the exact relationship between time and temperature today? So you will not be able to say, because you are only a finite number of data, and to time versus temperature is continuous curve. So how you will able to draw the curve? So you will have to do some sort of approximation. So data points will be either, that is one way to explain, or you are doing some other kind of experiment. So for some given input, whenever for a given one input there is one output, so you can create a finite number of data point by repeating the experiment finite number of time. One input, and corresponding to that one input you are getting one output. So any kind of experiment you can do. So you are getting a set of data points, n plus 1 data points. So you are performing the experiment, repeating the experiment n plus 1 times, and for n plus 1 inputs you are getting n plus 1 outputs. They are represented by x, y. Input is x naught, x1, x2, xn. These are called as nodes, x values, and outputs are y naught, y1, y2, yn. So either this tabular form, the data points are represented, or in this manner, x naught, y naught, x1, y1, up to xn, yn, this way. So the few questions which you will be asked, find the, since exact relationship is not known to you, so sorry. So your aim will be to find the relationship as close as possible with the exact relation. So you'll be trying to approximate the uh, invisible relation by some sort of function. Okay, so here you will be talking about polynomial function only. So we'll be considering polynomial interpolation, how to approximate any arbitrary function by polynomial. Now, how can you say that any continuous function can be approximated by polynomial? This is due to famous mathematician Weierstrass in 1895 or 1885. He proved that any continuous function on the interval can be approximated by a polynomial. चाहे आप जितने भी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड फंक्शन ले लीजिए, आप उसको ऑलवेज पॉलिनोमियल से अप्रोक्सीमेट कर पाएंगे. हाँ, डिग्री ऑफ द पॉलिनोमियल will be varying on the depending on the nature of the function and also the coefficients that also you'll have to determine, but it can be done. Any type of continuous function can be approximated by a polynomial. I'll be going to write them, those results. So find a approximate relationship. Find the, I should not use the, because there are not a unique relation. Find an approximate relationship between x and y. As from next first question, you can answer the second question. So if I give you some in between point xp, which is lying between the starting point x naught and end point x1, xn, the nodes, and you assume that the nodes are in increasing order or decreasing order in a certain manner, so that you can take a arbitrary point xp which is lying between x naught and xn. So if I ask you what will be the corresponding output yp, huh? So suppose the invisible relationship is y equals to f of x. So what would be reasonable output at x equals to xp? What will be yp? So this can be easily answered if you know the approximate relationship between x and y. In that relationship, you put x equals to xp, then you will be able to find out the value. Okay. So I had already introduced this topic during the introduction of the course. So suppose you know the population in a city in different years. So suppose your population are counted in 5-year interval. So suppose in 1980, population in a city is given in, let's say, 50 lakh. Then 1985, let's say 53, 1980, 1990, let's say the population is, so this is year, this side is population. So 1990 population is, suppose, say 57 lakh. 1995 population is, suppose, 61.53 lakh. And suppose I am giving one more data in the year 2000. Suppose the population is 66.5. Okay. So if I ask you, okay, from this data, you tell me what would have been the population in the year 1992. What is the population in the year 1992? How much? How many people were there in that city? So you can make a guess, any number between 57 to 61. You can say, okay, 58 lakhs of people were there in that city. But in that guess, you are not using all the data points, their nature, how they are distributed. So to make the guess, very close to the actual value, because population will not be increasing rapidly. or it will not be decreasing very rapidly. It will be increasing in a certain manner. So you can interpolate these data points and get very reasonable value. You can cross check it. You can take a known function, and from known function you create a set of data points, and then from that set of data points try to get some in between values, and you use the original function to match your answer. You'll see you will get a very reasonable value, reasonable answer. You take, suppose the polynomial I'm giving to you, suppose the function is y equals to e power x. Okay, y equals to e power x, and suppose I'm asking you, tell me what will be the, and from this y equals to e power x, you create a set of data points. So suppose in the interval 1 to 2, you want to find out 1.7 or 1.75. Okay, what will be output? What will be y of 1.75? So you can directly put x equals to 1.75. So the exact value will be e power 1.75. Okay, and you, if you want to have the idea about interpolation, you create a data point. So you created 10 data point or 5 data point. So suppose you are creating 5 data points. So you use the value at 1.0. What is the output? Consider that. Okay, then 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8, and let's say 2.0. So now you have consider the whole interval 1 to 2, and you calculate from the function what are the values at these points: y0, y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, and you will going to learn some methods how to interpolate this data and try to approximate e power x by a polynomial in the interval 1 to 2, and in that polynomial put x equals to 1.75 and see how much you are getting, and then you try to see the closeness between the value of e power 1.75 and the value obtained from the polynomial. They will be very close, because e power x is not increasing very rapidly, but there is a certain manner. It is not fluctuating very rapidly. The curves which fluctuate very rapidly, it is difficult to interpolate them. But those curves which nature is simple, they can be approximate in a very good manner. Anyway, so if I ask you what will be the population in the year 1992, you will make a guess, but that guess is not very good, because you are not considering the nature of the all data points. So I'll tell you how to get an approximate relationship. Since original population versus year relationship is not known to you, you will try to get an approximate relationship, and from that relationship you put the input y, the year 1992, and you will get the population. Anyway, so this is how interpolation works. So I'll stop at this point. I'll be discussing the theory in details from next theory class. Anybody, any question? Any question from online students? Okay.
No.
Okay, then I'll stop the discussion at this point. Okay. And